Hi, I'm Lanny, and this is Preserving Today. Today I'm going to show you how I make honey fermented garlic. There's many ways to get this done, but really all you need to do is put raw living honey over raw living garlic. In the past, I've done this with whole cloves, but today I'm going to try it with chopped garlic, just for ease of use. Honey fermented garlic is great. It's a wonderful way to preserve garlic, wonderful way to use your honey, and a great remedy for getting like any kind of normal cold or flu in the fall and winter seasons. If I'm not feeling well or I have that scratchy feeling in the back of my throat, I take a spoon of this honey, a small one, maybe about a teaspoon of it. You can also add it to hot water or tea, and it tastes really, really good added to stir fry sauce. It goes great with soy sauce, sesame oil, any kind of sesame. It's pretty much like you can't go wrong. If there's sugar in a soy sauce recipe, replace it with honey garlic and you won't be sorry. All I did is peel all these cloves. I got a small handful of them and I'm going to chop them up. You could easily put these whole cloves in the jar and do this same thing, but I'm going to chop them because then I can eat just a small piece of garlic if I want it and I don't have to commit to a whole clove. So I'm tossing these into this jar and I'm going to make sure that the jar that I'm using is larger by quite a bit from the amount of food I'm putting in it. Honey garlic or any kind of ferment will bubble and kind of grow. So you don't want this stuff to leak out of the bottle because it would be super sticky and messy. So now that it's in this jar, I'm just going to cover it with this honey. And again, raw honey, not pasteurized honey. Maybe the most fun part of making this is how beautiful it looks putting honey over anything in a jar, just watching it kind of bubble down and go through. If your honey is crystallized, you can just really gently warm that up. Don't heat it too hot or it'll kill the good bacteria. No, it's okay if some of the garlic floats on the surface. Unlike other ferments, we're not going to worry about submerging this under the honey. What we're going to do instead is put a nice piece of parchment paper over the top before we put our metal lid and band on. We don't want the honey mixture to touch the metal. It could corrode it. And we do want to be able to seal this jar really tight and flip it over from time to time. That's going to allow us to get all the garlic resubmerged under the honey, move it all around, and then also make sure to open up that jar at least once a day and let the air out because it is going to create some CO2. It might start bubbling up. All right, here we are 6 days later. This honey fermented garlic has been sitting for 6 days. The first thing I noticed is those tiny, tiny bubbles on the surface. Beautiful. And again, I've been checking this every couple of days and just flipping it over, moving it around, opening the jar once a day. So the little bubbles are showing the bacterial action that's going on. Everything smells really, really good. And you'll also notice that the honey is way more liquidy than it was before. This is part of the garlic letting its juices out into the honey, and it's just all infusing nicely. I'm going to leave this room temperature and let it ferment for longer. I could leave it indefinitely. Eventually, it's going to become almost alcoholic, but that takes for me at least 8 months, maybe even closer to a year. So flip it over, give it a nice stir, and release the pressure once a day and use it however you'd like. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Lanny, and this was Preserving Today.